This is a secret to designing any underwear pattern in under 20 seconds. Your custom made-to-measure knickers block. If you're new here, this is final 5th episode of our mini underwear series, where we teach you how to design and make custom knickers. If you haven't seen the first 4 episodes, I really recommend you go and start with part 1, and then this video will make much more sense. All the episodes are saved under the underwear playlist, and what was originally planned as a quick free tutorial turned out into a complete course, and we are publishing it for free on YouTube in separate parts. But you can sign up to the full course on our website and get the full benefit of structured learning. There are no ads, and the content is broken down into bite-sized lessons that you can come back at any time, because the course is yours for life. And it also comes with very handy PDF instructions that will help you on your pattern drafting journey. I'm Lisa Bennett, co-founder of Studio Arkdefo, designer and educator. And my biggest passion in life is helping women feeling great in their bodies with well-fitted clothing. We don't sell you ready patterns that won't fit. We teach you how to make sewing patterns based on your individual measurements, your body type, and your individual style preferences. And this underwear series is a free sample of my teaching style. So if you wonder how our clothes making courses look, exactly like this. You might have already seen some short form content where I'm showing you the magic of the custom pattern blocks. Well, the knickers are no different from any other garment. The most time consuming process is developing your perfect pattern block, the part that we covered in episode 1 of this series. But once you crack it, once you find your perfect fit, transfer it onto a card. It will be very easy to copy in the future and create new patterns in seconds. You can even have different pattern blocks for different stretch factors. You do it once and never have to worry about a well-fitted pattern ever again. So let me show you how you can really quickly change this pattern into something different. These blocks are really easy to outline, to copy. You don't need rulers, you can just follow the lines. That's why card is so great for this. And see here I also have my crotch marked. Also comes in very handy. This is my side seam. So I use different colors to show you different options. What if you want it to be higher and the side seam narrower? Very simple. You extend your side seam. Let's say you want it here. Let's say 5 centimeters from here. Now you draw your new waistline, and now let's say that you want your side seam to be here and you want it to be, I don't know, say 7 centimeters. So that's your new side seam. So this is then still your center back and the crotch, and this is still your center front and the crotch, but you want your underwear to go all the way over here. Very simple. Here's your second pattern done in under a minute. That's what pattern drafting is about. That's the beauty of it. Now right away I have my third option, right? The higher waist, but then I can continue my side seam all the way where it was, yeah? Now this red is my another pattern. It's high waist, it's the lower cut as we had before. Keep in mind that here you might need a little dart depending on your fit. Remember the very first lessons. So this is straight away third pattern, also done in less than a minute. Now what if I wanted more like lower briefs, for example? I want to lower my waistline. And option number 1, this is my pattern, but I want a wider side seam. So I drop it down and then I draw a new line. And that's another pattern. But the beauty of all these patterns is that they will all fit you because they're all based on your measurements and fit. Here is another option. Now what if I want to go almost like shorts? I can extend it even more. Again, and you measure all of this on your side seam from your waistline down, yeah? And you just have a look. And then here you go. This curve is lower because this is more like the shorts shape. And then maybe this is your new pattern. And you can keep going with this. Maybe you want, I don't know, a Brazilian fit. Maybe you want it super high, super narrow here, like almost no side seam, and then you go all the way here and maybe even reduce the crotch width. And then this is your new pattern. Yeah, and the same on the back. So as long as your crotch widths are the same, and as long as your side seam here is the same, you won't have any troubles connecting your side seams and your crotches. Another new pattern, and all of these patterns are based on your original back and original front. This is pattern drafting, and this is what we teach in our clothes making courses too. You create the block, and from this block the world is your oyster. And once again, this is just for stretch factor 0.8. You will have different blocks for different stretch factors. The possibilities are dozens of different patterns based on the same blocks. And look how little time it takes me to design all of these new patterns. No time at all. The main work is in cracking these blocks. But once you crack it, once you spend time to get it right, you can design anything you want. And then you can also be more creative with designs. For example, here, this is organic cotton mesh, and I can insert this and make my underwear a bit more interesting. And now, what have I done with the gusset? Let's look inside out. The gusset in this case, see, nice beautiful stitching here. Nice beautiful stitching here. So this front detail has actually become my double layered gusset, all of it, and all my stitching are nicely hidden. This is the same principle as before. You just go from the inside to connect them. Yeah, same way as we connect the gusset, just in this case you have 3 stitches. And again, it's very simple to design. Here is what I've done on my front block. I draw this line because I want to divide my pattern into 2 pieces. Let's say first I copy this part, mark the line on each side, and then remember the block about gusset. I'm copying them at a distance because of the seam allowance. Here, very important to mark all the positioning. So this is your side seam, yeah, and this is my connecting seam, obviously. If a shape is like this, super important when you do the pattern that you mark it. And if the fabric is not patterned, it's really easy to stitch it the wrong way. So always make sure that everything is aligned how you want it. And now, seam allowances, as always, at the gusset. Do the same exercise here with folding for the which way the curve goes. Same here. And I'll be folding this line to see which way this extra seam allowance is folding, but again, it's not super crucial because we kind of chop it to nothing. Another seam allowance here, yeah, and on the side seam. So, and this will be one detail because on the center, yeah, it will be mirrored. So you'll have it this way, and this whole thing becomes your gusset. And I cut 2 pieces of that. It doesn't have to be mesh, it could be just different colors, and also you can combine them in different way. The idea behind any pattern that you can chop it any way you want, right? As long as you add in seam allowances to your seams. So for example, yeah, you can draw a horizontal line this way and have a different stripe on the top if you want to. And it also always depends on how much fabric you have. Maybe sometimes it's easier to cut certain details a certain way. So for example, I won't be drawing seam allowances now, yeah, but you know that you need to do them. So back, front. Maybe you want to insert different color stripe over here on the side seam. Nothing changes in the fit. You just have your side seams slightly moved, so they'll be slightly in the front, and in this case your underwear will have a line over here on the front for the side seam and the same line on the back. That's it. So you can experiment as much as you want. You are the designer. You can design and make anything you want, and it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else as long as you are happy. Get a bunch of old t-shirts, experiment, try different fit and design options, find what works best for you. Very often we get asked, what if I do this or that? And I always reply with the same answer: try it. If I give you a ready answer, you will never try. But I want you to try, to make mistakes, to allow things go completely wrong, to discover new, better ways of creating that work best for you. The only way for you to get your creative freedom is to allow yourself to be imperfect. Stop limiting yourself with those beliefs that you are wasting fabric. You are not wasting, you are learning. Choose the right fabrics for practicing. Don't cut into that expensive fabric if you're just starting. I keep saying this again and again. Use what you already have. Your old t-shirts or even fitted stretchy bed sheets. Ask your friends and family for them or look in the charity shops. If you truly want to learn, you will find a way. Thank you so much for sticking right to the very end. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Next videos will be slightly different from this mini series, but we do hope you enjoy them too. And if you know someone who would also benefit from this content, please share the link. Comfortable and natural underwear should be available to every woman and girl out there.